Good morning, everybody. I'm here today to tell you, global relayers and the American Cancer Society volunteers, how Relay helped to change my life and also the entire cancer experience in Zambia. My cancer journey began when I was 22. In 1988, I hit the job market just after graduating from the University of Zambia. And I was fortunate enough to find a job at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Life was good. However, several months before my graduation, I had noticed a small lump the size of a grape on the right-hand side of my neck, which, out of fear, I completely ignored. It was only in 1989, after catching a nasty cold that caused agonizing pain on the right side of my neck, that finally prompted me to seek medical attention. The lump, which was now the size of half a golf ball, had multiplied. And after an initial wrong clinical diagnosis of TB of the lymph nodes, 2 biopsies confirmed that what I actually had was cancer of the lymph nodes, stage 2B. Devastated and shocked, with no clue how this disease was going to change my life forever, I began treatment. In my country at that time, there was no cancer hospital, little availability of chemotherapy, and definitely no radiation. But I was one of the lucky ones. Through my employer, I was sent to the former West Germany, where I began treatment. Those were very dark days. I felt lonely and afraid. Was I going to make it? Was I going to see my family again? These were some of the thoughts going through my bald head. Here I was, a stranger, thousands of miles away from home, in a country where I didn't speak the language, didn't understand the culture, and certainly I was not accustomed to their food. But most of all, I was battling a deadly disease that was destroying my body. But I had to make it. I knew I couldn't give up. Despite the fact that I was losing my hair, losing weight, feeling depressed, every day was another day of life. In 1990, I heard the sweetest words, "You have no more cancer." Whilst cancer had left my body, unbeknownst to me, it had left an indelible mark on my soul. As anyone who has gone through the cancer journey can relate. While I made it through my journey, it became even clearer how lucky I was to be a survivor, as most Zambians wouldn't even have had the chance to be treated, let alone survive. Cancer changes your outlook in life. You notice things you may not notice before. What I noticed is that in my country, cancer meant imminent death. It is called the killer because the belief and reality is very few people survive. In 1990, we didn't talk about survival rates or remission because if you heard the words, "I have cancer," your death sentence was set. I returned to work, but felt my real calling was back in Zambia to help my own people, and I returned home in 2000. What struck me upon my return was the fact that most cancer patients, their fate had not changed much since I had left 11 years ago. The same despair, ignorance, stigma, and imminent death was still rife. There was something wrong with that picture, and I knew I had to do something to help make a difference. I realized my life had a bigger purpose. Cancer does that to you. I then decided to create my own organization that would help provide my fellow Zambians with an opportunity to receive the same kind of support I got. It was at that time my path was destined to cross with the American Cancer Society. In 2006, I became the first Zambian to attend the American Cancer Society University, which culminated into the World Cancer Congress, held providentially in Washington, D.C., because it is also the city of my birth. The Congress included a special Relay for Life event just for the participants. And as I walked on that track as a cancer survivor, it allowed me to embrace my survivorship. for the first time, I understood the impact this disease had on my life. The change in my life's mission became more and more clear. I knew that this was my platform. And for the first time, I finally realized the magnitude of the beast I had conquered. I came to terms with the loss, anger, rejection, and pain I had unconsciously associated with it for over 16 years. As I walked around the track on that survival lap, I could feel myself emerge bolder and more resolute. It was at that moment that I decided to dream big. What if I could bring Relay for Life to Zambia? What if other survivors could walk on the track and feel this way and have the opportunity to celebrate their journey rather than hide in shame? What if I could create a Zambian Cancer Society to raise money to save lives faster? What if I could change the way people thought about cancer in Zambia? So I did. The following year, with hardly any resources, I left my job and devoted my life to making a difference. In 2007, I founded the Zambian Cancer Society, initially as an online resource for cancer patients and caregivers to go for information. The mission was to improve the quality of life and help those suffering from cancer. My fellow relayers, what I need you to understand is that unlike in the United States, there is no Mayo Clinic, there is no MD Anderson. We don't have thousands of doctors and nurses dedicated to the treatment against cancer, to the fight against cancer. However, things are changing slowly, and we now have one cancer hospital that is dedicated to treating those with cancer. That is one hospital. That is one hospital with 5 oncologists. That is right, 5 oncologists serving a population of over 14 million people. Throughout this time, I never forgot about my experience, my special experience in Washington, D.C. The thousands of luminaria bags, the hope, the sadness, the joy, the cheering participants and smiling faces of cancer survivors as we celebrated survivorship, and the incredible sense that when people come together for a common cause, anything is possible. How could I bring this to Zambia? Little did I know that my dreams were about to be recognized with another chance encounter with the American Cancer Society. In 2010, I traveled to South Africa to attend Relay for Life in Soweto. And there, I met Rule Johnson and Iris Pendergast and shared with them my dream to carry the baton of Dr. Klatt's mission and bring the Relay experience to Zambia. I believe I did a good job sharing my passion and commitment to fulfill this dream, because in 2011, Zambia became the second country in Africa that is proud to call themselves a Relay for Life global partner. So how is Relay impacting the fight against cancer in Zambia? Let me share with you a couple of examples in the short time we proudly call ourselves Relayers. Because of Relay, the Zambian Cancer Society has expanded its staff from 1.5 to 6 core team members supporting our mission. Fundraising, cancer education, patient services, and so on. We are saving lives. As a direct result of Relay for Life, we have received a seed grant, thanks to the support of Relayers from across the world, to set up the first cancer information and support desk at the Cancer Diseases Hospital. The desk will be launched before the end of August. We are saving lives. We are very proud to say that just a few weeks ago, thanks in large part to the funding and advocacy efforts of our Zambian Relay volunteers, we launched our Hope Childhood Cancer Network at the only children's oncology ward in the country. The ward will see over 200 patients a month. That is not only 200 more children per month, but 200 more people that could ever be treated in Zambia over just a few years ago when there was no cancer treatment centers in the country. We are saving lives. And of course, our relays continue to grow. While our relay was small, raising $11,000 with 9 teams, 10 survivors, and 3 caregivers, including my mother, we held our events in a culture that still believes that saying, "I have cancer," is not something you do publicly. It takes a lot of courage to stand up, to identify yourself as a survivor when less than 10% survive. But we did it. We started changing the culture, and we're already on our way to raising over $40,000 and bringing together over 50 survivors this October. We are saving lives. This year's relay will be graced by Zambia's First Lady, Dr. Christine Kaseva, and the money raised is in benefit of the most vulnerable and most in need, children with cancer. My story is not really about me. It's a call to action which shows that if you have a dream, anything is possible. I turned my dream into Relay for Life in Zambia. I want to say thank you to you, the American Cancer Society, for the gift of Relay. It truly is one world, one hope. My name is Udie Soko. I lead the Zambian Cancer Society, but most important, I am a relayer. Thank you.